cast resistance, and now you're knocking?
I have been here, and all you give me is nothing.
All right, who should we talk to? Where do we go so we can fix it?
Tonight, the party ventures into our Holt Manor to seek the counsel and aid of the undead knight. This is Roll Q, real stories told by real people making real choices.
I'm Spencer, and I am playing Silyth Vandree, a drow grave cleric, and I'm also NPC Mariel, our were-raven fighter.
I'm Shannon, and I play Changeling Warlock Oksana and Arena, our famous NPC.
And I'm Q, the GM. Last time, you made your way to the Blue Water Inn in Vallaki for the first time in a while. You awoke and took care of some business and shopping throughout the town, stocking up on supplies that you might need, because tonight, you have a dinner date in Castle Ravenloft. Today, however, you are standing in front of the large doors of our Holt, the Manor of the Order of the Silver Dragon. It stands dilapidated in front of you. The doors seem solid, but as you were walking up, you saw multiple holes in the roof. Sort of amazing that it's standing at all. The rain has started to come down pretty heavily, and there is distant thunder booming behind you.
Guys, I don't know why we are waiting. I know it looks creepy, but let us go.
You know, before we do that, maybe we should, and Silyth reaches and gets the Twilight Crest out, maybe we should use this before we go in. So she's going to cast Aid on herself and her lovely crew so that we have a little more hit points before we go into this.
Should we go in and getting wet?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit nervous. We've been traveling for a long time. Should we say any words, or Oksana will say, Arena, you are a badass woman. Let us go. And turn and she'll knock.
Whack, whack, whack. No answer.
Hello, this is Oksana and company. We are awesome. We are here for Sir Godfrey.
Not a sound. Besides the rain and thunder behind you.
Is there a porch?
There is
Oh, yeah.
not. You are getting rained on.
Mariel chimes in. Well, I could turn into a raven, do a little aerial view, see if there's a window, or we could just bust in. That seems kind of rude, but...
You know, I've always been curious. How does that work with a bird in the rain?
You know, that's really kind of you to ask. No one ever asked me about that. It's not fun. It's a little soggy, but for you ladies, I would definitely just take a little loop-de-loo and see what my bird eyes might see. Maybe there's a window, or maybe the person we're trying to reach is Godfrey. He's, I don't know, maybe he's reading a book in the back.
Oksana continues to knock. Hello? Yes, become a bird. We will all take care of this together.
On it. And Mariel brushes her hands over her face, and all of a sudden, phew, she is a raven, and she's going to do a lap to see if she sees anything with her.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
We are starting out great. Mariel just rolled a nat 1 on her perception. Guess the rain is really hard today.
It's raining really hard, and even though there are big holes in the roof, seeing down in those is really difficult. She feels like she would have to actually go in there to see properly.
So she makes a little sad because she didn't get to see anything. Comes back and lands boot first into like a puddle and then goes into her hybrid form. All right, sorry, Sheila's. There is nothing that I can see. The rain is a little rough, but I did give it my were-raven best. Silyth, irritated. Keep knocking, Oksana. Otherwise, we're getting a battering ram. I am getting soaking wet, and my hair is going to take forever to dry.
Are there any windows?
No, there are door handles.
All right. I think we are done being polite, Arena. Let us go. Oksana will start to... Is it a turn handle, or is it just a...
It's just a
push?
pull.
Oksana will start to pull at the door.
Although it kind of groans as though it has not been opened in a long time. It is not locked.
All right, Sheila's.
As you pull on it, Oksana, it kind of groans as though it hasn't been opened in a long time. But it does pull open. It is not locked.
She peers in, kind of looks back at the ladies.
It's like a pretty big room. Quite big, actually. And ahead of you, there's sort of a grand staircase that comes up midway to the second level.
Silyth, what did you see with all of the, what was it, heat mapping or something of the...
She cast Eyes of the Grave. She detected that there was like over 20 spirits, and then there were some that were blipping in and out. She can, as a drow, look for like any heat patterns, like kind of an infrared vision, but she hasn't done that yet.
So are we, who is inside? Has everyone come inside yet?
I thought you were still standing at the doorway. I didn't know that you'd walked in.
All right, I think we should all come inside. I don't know, yoo-hoo. She will continue to make sure that the door is open enough for everybody else. Guys, we have message from our friends at the river crossings.
So all of you inside now. The door's going to shut behind you unless someone actually holds it open. Slowly, kind of makes a click as it settles in. So you feel like you're in, it's like a king's tomb. I mean, it's obviously all broken. There's a really nice tapestry against one wall. It's very faded, sort of noblemen in silver armor. Along the sides there are these busts of what look like to be handsome gentlemen. There are 3. Looks like there was a 4th that's been knocked over and shattered. There's a huge iron chandelier hanging down. Almost looks like a giant spider. It's musty for sure, but there's also a pretty strong mildew smell, which given the holes in the ceiling and the rain makes sense. Go ahead and make insight checks.
Insight?
Esmeralda will do the same.
Okay, well, I rolled a natural 1 for Muriel originally, but for Silyth, I just rolled a natural 20 plus my 7 modifier. So it's all balanced.
Arena is 7 and Oksana is 9, 10, 14.
And 16 for Muriel.
Silyth, you get a very strong and certain feeling that you are the first living things to come through that door in about, 1,000 years.
Well, this is a very grave sensation. I don't really think there's been anyone here for quite some time. I think Muriel is unfazed by this. And while Silyth is making this observation, Muriel goes over to the busts. I wish I could, whistle, but I can't. But she would whistle. Aw, man, look at these blokes. Seem pretty handsome. What do you think, Irina? Who's your favorite?
Of the busts?
Yeah.
Well, I like the middle one.
Really? Seems a bit of a blockhead to me.
You're so punny.
I know.
I love it.
He was just there staring at us, but I mean, he's all right. Wonder who they are.
Would Arena know anything about this area?
I'll make a history check.
15.
Among the things that nobles study is a history of this area. She would know they're the Order of the Silver Dragon, which you know. These are almost certainly busts of the Lord Commanders.
Well, I can't but think they might be buried here.
Ew. I wasn't even thinking about that. I guess you're right.
Oksana walks around. Well, I'm wondering if there is a lever here. Maybe we could find some bones.
Make a perception.
15. I only have plus
15.
1.
No lever. It doesn't seem like anything is probably buried here. You do scope the exits. There are 2 kind of straight in front of you on the sides of the stairs. Stairs go up to a balcony. There's 2 more there. And there's also 1 on each side. So it's like you're in this foyer area. You do also remember that the knight at the gorge said, once you get in there, you're looking for the chapel of the morning. You just go straight through the dining room.
Oksana says, guys, there's so much cool stuff in here. There's levers everywhere. This reminds me of the time that I went to this other baron's place. He was really rude. And I decided that I was going to go from door to door and knock. They called it the ding-a-dong ditch. Yes, so I would go ding-a-dong for each door. And this one, I think we could go and pull all of the levers and see how we get into the next room.
Muriel loves this plan. She is walking back and forth, and I imagine she is wearing galoshes or whatever the equivalent would be. So you kind of hear this little squishy, yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I want to play Ding Dong Ditch.
Guys, we're supposed to continue on. We're not supposed to do anything except for go to Esmeralda. What was it called?
The chapel of the morning. You go straight through the dining. She say to go straight through the dining room, and this will take us to the chapel. Knight also said that there is, he said, unquiet spirits in this place. So maybe not to wonder. Although, I mean, it could be pretty cool.
Okay, then who would like to lead?
I'll go in, just straight ahead, right? Through the hallway?
I think so.
It's another high-ceilinged room. Still chandeliers. This chandelier actually still has light glowing from it. It's a big, long table in the center, probably seats 25 or 30 people. Chairs have been overturned, smashed, There are alcoves that have windows. The windows are long gone. You can see from one side the rain is blowing into these things. And in those alcoves are life-size statues of knights. That sort of Greek face where they're kind of all the same and sort of featureless. But they do have helms with kind of dragon wings coming out of them. And they're holding big shields with a dragon on those as well. With the rain blowing in to one side, walk in and you step right in a big puddle. There is on the far wall a pair of heavy looking doors that looks like they were made of glass or are still shattered and broken, and they're open.
Well, Oksana walks around to all of the sconces looking for any levers. And I think there's something about being in this girl group and in a very I don't know, male dominated, feeling comfortable. So she's seeking things.
As you're sort of cruising around, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I rolled a 4. 5.
It's old and ratty, and the sconces are kind of cool. Maybe there's somebody still here.
All right, guys, this decoration for this room is, I don't know, the architecture is not what I would have decided was good. Hello? Anybody else here? Knock, knock. Ding-a-dong.
From within the next room, the room straight ahead of you, you do hear, "Hello, I'm in here." Sounds far away, but it's a very clear voice.
Mr. Godfrey, is that you?
It is. Who do I have the pleasure of perhaps you could come in. I can't come to you.
Perhaps, Oksana, perhaps we tread lightly. Oksana's tread lightly. Anybody else? I don't know what this means.
Well, I suppose he is our man, and we could just go in carefully. I don't understand why he can't come to us. That could mean a plethora of things. Either he's tied up, or middle of a good book, or he's lying. But I do have a tendency to think fatalistically, so if we want to go in with bells on, we can try.
Are you reading? This is important. We want to make sure that you are able to get to end of chapter.
Definitely not reading. Looking forward to seeing you, but take your time. Caution is a virtue.
Muriel goes up to the wall or the door closest that she can hear him, and she goes over and does the beginning of sniffing a haircut 2 bits to see if he knocks back. So she knocks twice. Hello?
I hear that, but indisposed to knocking at the moment. Again, if you could actually see me through the window, perhaps. I'm alone, and I am definitely no threat.
Which window?
Either.
What's your favorite?
I suppose my left side is my best side, so that would mean the window on the right.
He sounds like a real twig, guys. All right, let's go look at it. Unless we were still window shopping, but not actually window shopping. Has everyone done a little loot around? We good?
Yes, I am ready. You lead.
So as Muriel looks through the window, you see there's a thin fog in this room. You see sort of another balcony. Looks like there's spiral staircases. Ahead of you, your eyes do alight on what seems to be a humanoid figure. There is fog in front of them. And whatever it is not moving, and its arms are kind of outstretched, almost like a scarecrow. And you watch for a few seconds and it doesn't move at all.
Silyth is going to peer in, kind of push Muriel to the side to look at this. Does this look familiar to anything she's seen before?
Make perception or history your choice.
Okay, that'll be 18 for perception.
Seems similar to Chapels of the Morning Lord that you've seen a few times in the Overbright in different places. Can't quite see across, but it seems like there's, pillars. There are what seem to be pews, although some are knocked over. And then looks like behind the guys, what's probably an altar, but hard to tell.
Esmeralda, I'd like to get your professional opinion on this.
Okay.
Do you see what I see?
That depends. What do you see?
Well, I see the chapel and this, I think they're called, didn't really have a lot of these, it's something that you put out in a farm and you're trying to get ravens away, and she gives a mean mug over to Muriel, or anything that would take your crops.
So Esmeralda rolled a nat 1 on her perception.
Nice.
So Esmeralda looks and she says, I'm not farmer. I don't really know, but everything is not moving though.
Oksana, during this, because her perception sucked, she's walking, kicking her heels, looking with her hands behind her back. This is not a good staged murder. This is horrible. You see, there's good craftsmanship here.
So, again, I've got to stay here. So, if you've come to speak to me, you'll have to come a little closer.
All right, let us go.
You guys walk in. You walk forward and you do see a knight still wearing armor. He is stretched out between those two pillars. Around his chest and his arms are these strands of what kind of looks like black wire, and he's completely tied to the stone pillars on both sides. He's still got his helmet on. It's very rusty, sort of strands of gray hair kind of coming. It looks like his face is really gaunt. He is clearly undead. You get close and he'll sort of raise his eyes, and you see his eyes are sort of red and intense, and he'll say, "Well met. I'm Sir Godfrey Gwillem, Knight of the Order of the Silver Dragon. To what do I owe this pleasure?"
I am Oksana and my friends, and I have heard lots about you. We are supposed to come here and hear about your Strahd thoughts. We do. Hail. Do you oppose Strahd?
I do. I see you have met my brethren on the various bridges. They are forced to stay on the bridges, but they are acting on my orders in sending you here. The hour is dire, and I am in need of your aid.
Who tied you up like this? The knots are terrible.
Interestingly enough, I have bound myself here. The wires you see are not wires. He'll kind of shake. As he does, they shimmer a little. It's like some kind of spell has put him there. So those wires are not physical. They're magic wires. And he'll say, "I swore an oath to my commander, and then circumstances changed, and I decided I was going to break it. But I had sworn one vow to my commander and another vow to break that same vow, and thus you can see my dilemma. I cannot move because it is in my heart to break this oath. As long as it is my intent to break the oath to my commander, my restraints will remain on me."
And how long have you been?
I have been tied here since the first night of the siege on Barovia village. I do not know how that siege ended, but it was on that night that I decided I would break my oath to my commander, and my oaths conflicted, as it were. Thus I am stuck.
Rena, when he mentions Barovia Village, she recoils. How did you know about Barovia Village? Were you part of it? Or the staging of it?
No, I was not part of it. I do remember when it was built. It's actually younger than either of the other two cities here, or at least the cities that I assume are here.
Wait, I'm rather confused. Previously, you're referencing about 3 weeks for you, or for... I'm quite confused. I'm from Barovia, so would I not know you?
No, I'm not from Barovia at all. Does Barovia still stand?
It does, barely, but it does.
Barely. That is too bad. When I heard about Strahd's awakening and heard that he was going to attack the village of Barovia, I swore to my commander that I would never harm Strahd.
Why?
Well, my commander is become very hateful in his undeadness. He hates Strahd so, and that we were told that Strahd is also imprisoned here in Barovia. Commander Horngard believes that if we were to kill Strahd, it would spare him from that torment of being caged. He has made us swear a vow not to harm Strahd at all, so that Strahd may continue to suffer forever.
But in doing that, you are continuing the problem that we are all experiencing. Can't, if you were to take Strahd and defeat him, then my people would be fine. Vallaki would be fine. Here would be fine. I don't understand.
I quite agree with you. I'm not the one you have to convince. When I heard that Strahd was going to attack Barovia, I told Commander Horngard I was going to break my oath. My brethren on the bridges also, we all decided to go and defend the innocent, to try to defend the village. But we had sworn to Commander Horngard 1,000 years ago that we would not harm Strahd. It seemed a safe vow at that time. It's not now, of course.
Where is this superior? I can't remember. I've heard his name before. Or we have.
With any luck, Commander Horngard is in his own chambers. His eyes will kind of flick upward. It would be better if he did not know that you were here.
He's here?
Yes, he is here.
Does he have some connection to Strahd? Do you think he can get a message, or rather Strahd get a message to him?
No, there is no one who hates Strahd more than our commander. He does not want us to hurt him so that we do not stop Strahd's suffering. He wants Strahd to suffer forever, and if we were to kill him or defeat him, it would end that suffering. That is how he sees it.
Well, I would like to meet this man, or... I understand. I understand that we can't waltz in, but perhaps maybe another day.
Perhaps another day, yes. Perhaps another day. If you should happen to run into him, if he should come out of his rooms, do please not mention that you are opposing Strahd. It is probable that you will not leave this manor again if Commander Horngard believes that you are not. He is much more powerful in death than he was in life, and in life he was formidable.
If we do run into him, then what's a good alibi we should tell him that why we're here?
I don't know. There's 5 of you. I'm sure you can come up with something clever.
I just thought you might know more about him, but all right.
I know that he will kill anyone he thinks is going to oppose Strahd. Though he opposes him as much or more than anyone else, it is a backward way of thinking.
It is quite the quandary.
He has ceased to visit me, and so, not that my words were of any use before. Even Argynvost himself tried to convince him to turn from this path of hatred, but he is set.
Do you think that, well, first off, I agree that the knots here are a little suspect. I think we could work on this, maybe give you some lessons. Perhaps our friend here, she is Raven. Sorry, I hope this was not a secret. Maybe she could fly around and peek in on this dude, that is bad guy, that we need to... that doesn't like Strahd but likes him is very weird.
I would not. He is... Obviously, I cannot stop you. My knots, though they may look poor, are quite adequate to their task. Again, I cannot stop you, but it would be better if we could try to consult someone else whose spirit is again stirring. I would go and investigate it myself, but, well, you know.
All right, who should we talk to? Where do we go? Tell us everything so we can fix it.
As I said, the spirit of Argynvost himself has tried to turn him away from the path of hatred, but he's refused. And the spirit of Argynvost has gone silent. Many, many years. But now I can feel more than hear whispers in the mansion. I cannot investigate them myself clearly, but I know who can. And if I am right, she is the one who is most likely to understand the spirit of Argynvost. If you can find her, she will be able to guide us.
And where should we look first to find her? Any clues?
Zoya is who you seek, and she has been trapped for untold years in the ballroom. It is, if you go back through the dining room to the foyer, there's a door on the left. She has, as I said, been trapped there for I do not know how long. Free her, and if anyone can speak to what spirit the silver dragon has left, it is her.
Zoya.
Zorya. Zoya.
Zoya, I like it. Okay, so will this solve the problem if we go get her?
It may well. I mean, there is a complication. The ballroom has become lair to a family of spiders, large ones. There may also be supernatural elements as well. Almost everything here is halfway between life and death. That may include the spiders.
It'll be like going home.
Yes, Silyth is amazing.
I do not
Thank you.
understand.
It's all right. I don't expect you to. But I am concerned. You said she's been trapped there. Trapped by a spell? By the Smiters? What's held her there so long?
She was put there by Commander Horngard. He has sealed her in something. I know that he took her in there and she has never come out again. But I can still sense her emotions sometimes. Mostly it is sadness, some anger and anxiety as well.
Do you have picture of her, or drawing, or etching?
I don't. She is hard to miss. She is Argenvost's familiar. She is his image in miniature. So she is a very, very small silver dragon made of silver flame.
I was excited for a second because I thought maybe I could use my skills, but I can only do these fun things with humanoid shapes. This is sad.
I don't understand that either.
Thank you for the information. Is there anything we need to know before we go find her, wake her, the spiders and...
I would just say again, do not wander. This place is full of dangers. Horngard is not the only malevolent spirit in this manor. Some have never left their moment of death like the rest of us have, and they will be vengeful. Also, many of them, all those in fact that were not called from the grave like I and my brethren were, are incorporeal. This means that normal weapons and magic of the elements of earth cannot harm them. The only thing that gives them pause is the arachnids of the ethereal variety. Don't worry, I know what to do, especially if we can get a hold of those spiders. It'll take care of everything.
So, like, maybe there will be army for us?
I don't think so. Maybe they won't kill us. We kill them first. Again.
Not sure how I feel about killing spiders.
Perhaps we don't have to kill them? Maybe we can just go and free the little dragon and they will leave us alone?
All right.
I'm like imagining Mushu from Mulan.
That is exactly what Zorya's going to look like, except
Oh
silver.
my gosh, that's so
She's
cute.
literally
Yes,
a silver
please.
misty Mushu. Exactly.
Yes. That's what I'm waiting for. All right. Esmeralda, you know everything there is to know. I mean, about monster hunting. So how should we approach this?
Well, the spiders, the biggest problem you have is the webs. If you can stay out of the webs, then fighting spiders is not difficult, actually. They are not particularly strong. But, of course, the webs, if they bind us, then we cannot move, and then it becomes quite different. If you said ethereal arachnids? Yes, ethereal arachnid. He means phase spiders. Little trickier. They do the same, the webs, and they are a little tougher, but worst is they can go in and out of ethereal plane whenever they want. So they come, they bite you, and they're very poisonous. Which actually the poison is good. If we kill them, we can harvest the poison. This is what will help us against the incorporeal. We can put the poison on things, and the poison will work against all the spirits in here. But of course, the problem is to kill them in the first place. And of course, the poison also is, when they bite us, is not great for us either. We can handle it, but not to be stupid about it.
When I first joined you, didn't we pass some of these space spiders earlier? Like above the table,
Irina
like
and
way
Oksana
back?
know that you have.
Okay.
I believe we did. Remember that time? Yes. Are they like the same kind? I wonder. And do you have a good relationship with them? Maybe we could barter.
Well, if anyone can barter with spiders, it would be moi. So I think it will be fine, Esmeralda. I don't think we'll need to kill them. We'll get what we need to get. We'll talk to this magic dragon. And
Who goes first?
before we leave, I was just curious looking at this chapel. Is there a basin or anything around that I could, I don't know, prepare holy water? Can I do that?
There is a basin upon the altar. As you approach it, it is very tarnished. Looks like, though, that is what was prepared in here. You don't see any blood or any other staining in it. Will still hold water.
Okay. I Haven't done this in game. I can't remember the mechanics for it or what I need to do. If there's anything to bless it. Is there anything D&D wise with this?
Gosh, I don't have the first clue.
I mean, I can make it up. I'm really good at making it up. I just wanted to make sure I was...
If it's something simple to find, cool. But if not, then making it up is
All right,
fine.
we'll keep it simple. We'll keep the ball rolling here. So Silyth is going to go over to this basin. This is the first time that she's ever even thought about making holy water. It seems a little sacrilegious in some ways. And she, I guess, gets out some water from her bag and pours it over. And then she looks at the basin. She looks up. And she looks down at the basin and she looks back up at Godfrey. Did you follow Lathander when you were alive?
I did. I do still.
Great. So I don't, but if you could just nudge your god, could use some holy water here.
Nudge my god. It seems as though Lathander has somewhat forsaken me, whether that is due to my undead nature or the breaking of my vows or the taking of the wrong vow, I cannot say, but I do not think he will respond to a nudge from me. You must have a god of your own that you could ask.
Yes, but to ask for help from her is not ideal. I am so close to casting Turn Undead on you right now, but I am not going to. Fine, I'll pray. And she looks over. Could you just give me the room, please?
I cannot.
I need to pray. I know. Just you can just stand there. It's
I'll close
fine.
my eyes and pretend
All right.
not to hear.
Come on. And Arena will let us go. Take your time.
Esmeralda kind of gives you a bit of a dubious look, and she'll be like, all right. And she goes.
So Silyth looks up at Godfrey one more time, see if his eyes are closed.
They are.
She looks at the water, and she puts her hand in it and says, Lolth, I know it is forbidden to ask you for help, and I don't ask for your help now, but we need to continue your legacy. We need this holy water to be able to kill more in your name. Spirits here don't respond to the magic that I know, the attacks that I know. If you're out there, I ask for this ability so that we can continue to honor you. And then she pulls her hand away from the water like it's hot.
You wait, expecting either reward or punishment. Neither comes. You feel no magic or divine presence whatsoever in the water, and there is no pain or metaphorical or literal slap on the wrist.
She grabs her dagger, angry, and she throws it into the water. I hate this. I don't know how many times I have to ask. Why am I here? What are these abilities? Why have I been here for 5 years, and why am I in this mist? If it is not to kill for you, then why do you forsake me now? I have not forgotten you. I have been here every damn day, and all you give me is nothing. And then she pauses, almost like the words weren't hers. Or perhaps she's just not used to saying them. And she reaches in, she grabs the dagger, looks up at Godfrey.
Eyes are still closed.
I know you can't close your ears. I'm leaving. And if I could knock over this basin, I would.
Be careful. If your god will not protect you, your friends perhaps can.
Shut up. I don't need your help. Then she walks out.
You guys walk through the dining room, into the foyer, and to the left, just as he said there is a door. This seems to be the place. Within that door should be this ballroom. It should be Zoria, the pseudo-dragon familiar of Arginvust, and spiders.
Lilith will use that time, though, to go ahead and cast on herself False Life.
Esmeralda will say, okay, so you said you're going to try to talk to the spiders?
Yes, I already had a very mentally stimulating conversation with Lolth, and she thinks this will be fine.
Okay.
So Silyth is going to start walking the perimeter of the room and just kind of like pest control. She's like tapping on the walls to see if she can get anything to appear, and kind of putting her ear up, listening and see if she can hear any pitter pattering of the arachnids.
Even though you're not doing it on purpose. Well, you sort of are. Make a deception check, please.
4.
Esmeralda will lean down to you, Oksana, and she'll say, I don't think the confidence is real for this one.
Is this okay? Silyth, I will walk around with you. Or can I start on this one side?
Sure, yeah, you take the east side, I'll take west over here, and then we'll meet in the middle.
Absolutely, yes. Arena will say to Oksana, just keep in mind that this isn't our thing, so if there's anything I can do to help you, please say so. All right. Yes, you can help by stand there and observe my greatness. She'll walk over there. Hello, little spiders. I hope that was not the wrong thing.
The door remains shut. The walls remain stone. Esmeralda will roll her eyes and she'll take out a very small twig and begin to pick her teeth.
Esmeralda, you should know what to monster hunter.
I already told you what to do, but you want to talk good? It's better to talk if we can do it.
Well, I am over here hungry, so what were we supposed to do? I don't want to talk.
Then we kill the spiders.
We can't kill
feed
them.
the little dragon.
You are conflicted.
I am not conflicted at all. You seem conflicted.
Silyth.
Your friend Silyth is very conflicted.
Silyth, you are very conflicted. Maybe we find good spiders. Maybe they can be reformed.
I just don't think I'm not saying I haven't killed spiders. I've killed spiders, all right? But I was trying not to here. Okay, Esmeralda, what do you think? You think we should just kill them and take the poison?
Yes. I mean, look, if you want to maybe try, I've never heard a spider that knows to speak, but look, if you want to try, just maybe you try with your shield already out, if you know what I mean.
Okay. I'm just trying to think about spiders. I feel like we need some kind of bait. This is just me trying to figure out what to get them to come out. What do I have?
What do spiders like? They like dark places. They like Amazon boxes.
They like to eat. Some. Silyth smiles and she turns to Mariel. There are some spiders, we call them bird catchers, and they like to eat birds. Mariel eyes widen. Hell no, mate. I am not meeting my end by some creepy crawly. No, I will fly around, but I am not gonna be someone's dinner.
I think we should just go in guns blazing, and Oksana will turn and face Silyth, take her hands, hold her cheeks, and say, we can do this. And she casts resistance and turns around and goes toward wherever. Knock, spiders.
So you're cast resistance, and now you're knocking?
I am I am going
It's very confusing.
I don't even know where I am. I'm so visual. That's what I do.
So as you cast resistance and throw the door open, it is time then to roll initiative.
Huzzah.